Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and today we're playing some Funko Fusion and checking out the new June 17th, 2025 update, because this update actually adds a few new accessibility features, and we're going to be showing off exactly what those do. This update also adds Blacklight Skins for the DLC characters, which previously didn't have them. And of course, it adds the new Manchester City DLC pack, which you can see right here that me and my buddy Swagverse are using here in the intro. So the first accessibility feature that we're going to check out are the new controller mappings. Really just one new control mapping. So the game launched with what's now known as the default controls, and now there's an alternative control scheme. So if you head down here, you're going to see controls mapping. Now, as of right now, the menu is actually bugged, so it'll show the same exact controls in the menu for both default and alternative. Like if you compare them, they're actually the same exact buttons. But when you actually select alternative, it will change your controls. So what it does is it makes like the RB button or R1, depending on your console, become the attack button instead of X or square. And I think dodge becomes LB instead of like the B button or circle button. So it is a little different, but just be aware that the controls in the menu will show whatever your current control scheme is. So if you have alternative, it'll just show the alternative controls for both default and alternative in the menu, but it does actually change them when you select each one. So hopefully they fix that in the future. So the next accessibility feature that we're going to show off are the infinite lives. So when the game launched, you had 3 lives, and then about a week or so after launch, they changed it to 5 lives because I guess a lot of people were complaining about the difficulty. And it's been 5 lives for the longest time. And you can see here, so when we fully die, we'll lose a heart, and we have to go revive ourselves. That's how it was before. Now with infinite lives turned on, and this is turned on by default, by the way, the lives in the top left of the corner just completely disappear, and now we can die as many times as we want. So they made the game a little bit easier there. Now the next option is the Arachnophobia Mode, and this one is pretty goofy. So when you play the Thing levels, there's going to be these spider-head enemies. There's even a Funko Pop that you can buy in real life. That's one of these spider-head enemies. So when you turn the Arachnophobia Mode to on, it'll actually delete the legs off the spider heads and just kind of make them floating heads moving around, which looks kind of goofy. I wish they like changed the model or something like that, but they just kind of deleted the legs. And other than that, it's exactly the same. So I guess for if any of you guys have arachnophobia, I guess this is kind of a cool feature. I'm not sure, how many people this is gonna affect. Here you can see the spider head's actually on my head without there being any legs, which looks kind of funny. But yeah, that's the new Arachnophobia Mode. Now this next one is the Gore level. So there's normal and low. So before the game was on normal, you can see it here. When you attack enemies, there's kind of blood that explodes everywhere. Now when you turn it to low, what it's actually going to do is it doesn't really change much of anything, except it changes the blood color to green. And that's really all I can tell that it does. And so basically anywhere there's blood in the game, it's now green. And so we're going to show several examples of this because we wanted to see all these different scenarios with the gore level set to low. So here you can see in the corner there's like a blood splatter on the ground. And now when you turn the gore level to low, it now just turns into a green little splatter on the ground. And the ketchup bottles are even green now as well, which is kind of interesting. Here's the scene from the first level of Hot Fuzz where the little statue like falls on the guy's head. So that's it without, or that's it with the normal gore level, I should say. And then now we're going to look at it with the new low gore level option. So it's going to fall on his head, and now it looks exactly the same. It's still pretty violent, but now it's just green instead of red. So we're going to show a few more examples of this as well. So if you play the second level of the Thing when you're fighting the giant dog, now the giant puddle of blood beneath him is now like a giant glowing red pile of like acid is what it looks like. Here's the Jaws level. You can see this dead body that got eaten up by the shark. It still looks pretty gruesome. It's just everything's green. And now we'll look at it with the gore level back to normal. And now everything is red again. And we'll also show off when the shark attacks Quint here at the end. So here's Quint throwing the bait into the water. You can see it changes from red to green with the gore level set to low. And so here you can see where Quint gets eaten. That's how it looked before. There's blood spewing everywhere. That's probably the most violent scene in the game, I'd say. Now you can see it with gore level set to low. There was actually a really funny glitch that me and Swagverse discovered here, and I might actually make this its own video, but if you're playing as Quint during the ending sequence here of the Jaws level, you'll actually like become the NPC Quint that's on the ship, and you'll get eaten by the shark, and then you'll respawn as like a Biddy Pop. Now the camera is a little messed up, you have to like aim to actually use the camera, but I might make a full video on this a bit later if you guys want to see it, because it is a pretty funny bug that you can play as a little Biddy Pop here in Funko Fusion. Here you can see my gun is huge, but my character model is tiny. And then the last new feature of this update are the new Blacklight skins for all the DLC characters, as well as the main Funko characters like Freddy Funko, Proto, Eddie Funko. Those guys didn't have Blacklight skins before, and these do just cost 1010 vinyl. They don't cost fun coins. Seems like the devs are kind of phasing out fun coins, which kind of sucks for the people like me who actually grinded for a bunch of fun coins. Now it's as vinyl, which you can get pretty easily. But yeah, so all the DLC characters now have Blacklight variants. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the June 17th, 2025 update here for Funko Fusion. You got some new accessibility features, you got some new Blacklight skins, and you got support for the new Manchester City DLC pack. We'll just have to wait and see if there's more DLC coming down the line. I know a lot of people want level DLC, but honestly, I really don't see that happening at this point in the game's life, but hey, you never know. So please give this video a like if you found it informative, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.